Yo, what's good, everyone? Crustlord here, back with a week 2 match of the uh, MPC. Got the Wooping Kricketunes on the left, and then the Ohio State Sableye on the right. Kricketunes are 0-1, Sableye are 1-0. I've got here Carlos, as usual.
Hi.
And then I've also got special guest Jordan, who will be joining us for a couple matches this week.
Hello.
All right, let's get right into it. So, risky lead with the Blaziken, but it was definitely a really good prediction because Feral Thorn is normally Hank's lead. And also, really good prediction turn 1 goes straight for the Earthquake. Really good play by Mimo, and really good prep. And Hank choking.
Yeah, Mimo definitely played this beginning with Blaziken really well. Predicting with the Earthquake was just a next level move, and it's something he wasn't showing week 1 with his play, and it's good to see him improving with that. The Blaziken overall in this match was used well, except
there was later in the match. We'll get to that.
Well, no, what turn are you on right now?
I'm on turn 2. I'm about to say, because he switched. He did like a double. Hold on. So Hank did a weird double. I don't understand. Maybe he misclicked. I don't know. That was weird. But knocked that off, and then I guess maybe he predicted the switch, or he predicted like Carlos said, a scarf. I don't know, but I think. But I thought maybe he. I don't know. I don't understand. Mimo, you probably shouldn't have switched there. Going for another knockoff was probably fine, because even if it was Mimikyu, then you break the disguise and knock off the item. So, and then Hank uses rest, which...
Yeah, that was bad.
Hank's just choking.
So yeah, this early game, Mimo's definitely just control for like majority of the match. I really like his play this week, and just throughout it, he never really makes any huge misplays. It's mostly misprep.
Yep, and we'll get into that for a bit. Jordan, do you have anything to add so far?
I agree with you guys. I mean, I think Mimo started off the match really, really well. Like, I was watching this in a car, like, just on my phone, and I watched, like, the whole match, and just Hank did not look like he wanted to play Pokemon. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, he did not look like he wanted to play Pokemon, because Mimo was literally kicking his butt. Like, the first 5-6 turns, like, he already has 2 Pokemon down. By the time I get to this, like, by the time turn 7 comes, he's already down 6-4. So Hank did not start off well. Retrospect, but yeah.
Yep, and then so kills the Uxie, then goes into Zygarde, and then Mimo switches into Serena. Correctly Dragon Dances, uses Outrage, drop kick, kind of trade there. Both good plays. I agree with both plays. Then he switches to Aloe, only doing about 28 at +0. Switches out into Pharaoh. Both good plays. Knockoff's good. Nothing to complain about so far. Getting up the rocks, good. Getting that. So trying to get that Serena back up, but Hank smart, and also he was also trying to predict the Leech Seed at the same time. However, he probably should have, because Serena is really the only hurt Pokemon right now. So he probably should have. That I think is a misplay. He probably should have thought that through a little bit. I think he maybe should have either like protected and kind of, because that Power Whip was pretty. If Hank was going to use an attack, he was going to use it that turn. So I don't necessarily agree with that play. I kind of saw that coming, but good play for Hank. Safe. Good job not going for Leech Seed and choking any further.
Yeah, definitely at that point, he's probably gonna go for some sort of attack. He's either that or rocks, because he'd be predicting the protect here, and if he doesn't, it's just nice to get damage off on Alamomola because it's just so bulky, and Hank doesn't really have a strong answer for Alamomola this match. But so
I mean, Ferrothorn's
I
okay.
definitely think he'd want to get damage off there, and so Mimo should have realized that.
Yeah, I think Mimo should have kind of I think he should have protected, scouted for the attacking move or the leech seed if he doesn't have one, and then wished again. And if he doesn't have an attacking move, if he leech seeded, then switch on the Serena and kind of mind games a little bit. And I think he was a little bit too impatient by just switching straight out to Serena, and that ended up just losing Serena, which, it doesn't do great against. It doesn't really do great against Hank's team, but if he did survive that turn, then he would have got the spin off. So, but Hank correctly power whipping. So good play. And then Hank switching out into Komala, predicting the fire punch. That's fine. And then he goes for the toxic. So I don't know if that was like a prediction by Mimo. Probably wasn't. Not really sure why he's switching to Excadrill unless he did predict the toxic. Kind of weird, but I don't really know that play. I don't understand. Just turned out in his favor. And then Hank reveals the E-Quake, doing a decent amount. Protecting, kind of useless protect. And then just letting it die. Now at that point I think he should have maybe switched out in the Pharaoh, maybe, and kind of save it. I mean, it doesn't do great. It doesn't really do great against Mimo, but getting that toxic off against the Dusknoir, since he did reveal it, and then maybe he could predict the switch into Excadrill and then E-Quake him and then kill the Excadrill. So I don't know, kind of it's a fine play. I don't 100% agree with it, but it's not a misplay per se.
Yeah, when usually when you let a Pokemon die like that, you either want it to be free switch into something, or you always want to save a Pokemon in that situation when you can. When you have a nice switch in, because just like in a previous match this week where against me, Jace sacked his Thunderous Tea for no reason. You always want to save sacks, or even just for differentials purpose, saving the Pokemon that is good at when you have a easy switch in Ferrothorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh yeah. I mean, he definitely, I think could have kept Komala. I mean, he obviously showed Earthquake. It was really good for the drill. And he still had Blaziken around. He could have still done work to the Blaziken with Earthquake to it. I definitely think he should have went into Ferrothorn there, like Carlos said. I mean, like you guys said. So the play to Ferrothorn should have been the play. I, being probably as bad as Hank is, probably would have done the same thing. So I probably would have done the same thing. So I'm not going to bash on him. But yeah. I think definitely that was the play to do, to go to Ferrothorn.
And also a little inside information. Actually, another option he could have gone with, that was a Wish Protect Komala with Toxic and E-Quake. That was the full set. So going back to turn 15. Okay, so he switches out. That's fine. Does the Toxic, whatever. So what Hank could have done, could have protected here, gotten up to like 82 or 3%. And then he could have wished, and then just kind of stalled out his E-Quakes for a little bit, because E-Quake's only doing like 52, and that's less than 50% with the leftovers. So he could have gotten up to full if he just kept stalling out, and it'd be risky, but he could have gotten up to full, protected, and then he would have survived another E-Quake and then killed him with the second E-Quake. So he could have played a lot more patiently, and I think he could have saved Kamala, or Kamala could have gotten the kill there if he, played Wish Protect correctly. But
Yeah, and doing that would allow him to, like, if he tried to switch into Blaziken, he couldn't just high jump kick because of Protect. So there would have been mind games there, and it would have helped a lot.
yeah, and then he also could have switched. He also could kind of play mind games, and I'm pretty sure Blaziken would die to a Kamala E-Quake. Kamala's got like 115 attack, I think. But yeah, that would do a lot to Blaziken. And if not kill it, Blaziken's at 80%. So like, he definitely had a chance to die there. So I think he should have played Kamala like a little bit better. He should have used Wish. But kind of sacking it, it's not the worst play in the world. And you brought up earlier how Jace just sacked Thunderous. I think that's a little different because that's just like a useless play. This isn't necessarily a misplay because if you wanted the free switch in, there was reasons behind it. It's not just a useless play like Jace. So
I mean, if you save that Kamala, then you have the potential to sack it off later.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think he didn't make the correct play, but I'm hesitant to call it a misplay, just because it does kind of set up Zygarde coming in, and what he should do is he should D-dance right here, but he doesn't. Now, I'm not sure. Oh, my bad. I'm not sure if it's happened yet, but has Alumomola versus Zygarde happened yet?
Yeah, that was earlier.
Okay, so, and then Alumomola used knockoff. So now, okay, thinking this through, Alumomola, if it knocked off, probably doesn't have the ice. It doesn't have the ice beam. Hank could have double danced or used D-dance twice, and then that kills the Alumomola. Like straight up. He even has the Z outrage, as we will see later. So that knockoff wouldn't even do anything. But so kind of questionable play, not going for Dragon Dance there. And then also, so with Blaziken doing, 25% to the Zygarde, that's his win condition, and he's just playing it defensively, and Zygarde is literally the only thing that can take out every single thing on Mimo's team. So he's playing pretty reckless with it, and even though it does resist, he doesn't have any healing potential since he's sacked off Kamala. So I don't agree with his reckless play with Zygarde. And then again, should have D-danced. Could double dance here too, but doesn't. Opts to go back into Pharaoh. Gets the Leech Seed off, which is good. I think Hank played with Pharaoh well in general.
Yeah, definitely. So with the whole Alumomola exchange, he definitely revealed with the knockoff and the Wish and Protect. The only other move he's gonna have there is Scald. He would have used Ice Beam by now, and so I don't think Mimo should have brought something to deal with the Zygarde better. He didn't really have any good. His only switching was Alumomola or the Serena, and neither of those could really touch the Zygarde. They just became setup fodder. So if you're gonna make those the switching, you need something to do damage to this Zygarde, because otherwise it's just gonna set up. Like that's what Zygarde does. It sets up Dragon Dances or Bulk Ups or any of that, and that's how he ends up winning. So if you're gonna bring walls like that, don't make them become setup fodder.
I'm guessing the Dusknoir probably had Ice Punch. Maybe that was his dedicated switch in, but I don't know why he didn't switch it in before. Kind of weird.
Yeah. If it had Ice Punch, he definitely should have gone into earlier rather than just sacking it.
Jordan, you got anything?
No, I mean, I 100% agree with you guys. I agree that he did. Hank really did use Ferrothorn well. Like just watching it, I thought his plays with Ferrothorn were well, and I think the only time that he misused Ferrothorn of going into it was the Komala play. And like Noah said, I like Noah's point of saying um, Zygarde was used very recklessly. It was. Zygarde was his win condition in this match, and Komala was there to wish if you needed Zygarde with more health. But now that he sacked Komala, you have to save as much health on Zygarde as you possibly can. And he really didn't do that well, honestly. But like you said, it ends up coming down to where it doesn't matter. But I think in the future he needs to use Komala, Wish Well, and I think he needs to use Zygarde a lot less recklessly.
Mm-hmm. And also what he could have done. So going back a little bit to the where he switches out. Wait, that was earlier. Okay, so turn 21. He could have went out to Mimikyu, and I'm pretty sure I prepped with him. Pretty sure Mimikyu had red card. So he could take that disguise and then red card out into something else. Now, if you really have like a 3 out of 4 chance of getting a good one, basically anyone but Excadrill would be fine. And then you could kind of set up and then maybe even sweep with Mimikyu. But you know, I don't agree with his decision to switch into Zygarde on this Flare Blitz. Because now it's at 52%, and I'm pretty sure like an E-Quake or an Iron Head will kill him maybe. I'm not sure in the calcs, but he's definitely in range for something. So, turn 23, gets the Leech Seed off. That's a good play. And then, again, Mimo doesn't play any mind games with the Wish and just goes straight out into Blaziken. So, I don't agree with that. Kind of doing the same thing as he did with Serena earlier. Blaziken's kind of the only thing that can effectively deal with this Ferrothorn. Now, he's got Tornadus with the Heat Wave, but that's not as good, of course. And also Blaziken, if he switches out into Zygarde and he does preserve it, Zygarde's taken 25% every switch in, and he's only got 2 more 25% to take. So I think he should have protected there, just played a little bit more mind games with his Aloe, and not just straight out switched into Blaziken, because it died to a Power Whip. And then Hank also getting the second Power Whip off, so Ferrothorn is carrying him right now. So, turn 27, switches out into Tornadus, obviously revealing that it does have the Heat Wave, or else why else would he switch it in? And then, again, recklessly switches out into Zygarde. Now, it could have gotten burned there, and if it did get burned, it's pretty much GG for Hank. So, however, I'm not as mad as that one though, because he did have the Leech Seed up. So he only took like 10%, which is a decent amount, but it's not as bad. And then Hank only sets up 1 D-Dance. Now, he did make the correct play. So fast forwarding a little bit. So turn 28, then turn 29, he did finally. Oh, I can hear some echo.
Sorry.
That's good. He finally predicted the Aloe switch and D-danced. Took him 4 times. And then he Z-outrages here and doesn't kill the Aloe. Now, Aloe can't do anything to Zygarde right now, except for the Scald Burn, and if Hank calced it, he would know that Aloe is not going to die to a Z-outrage at this percent. He should have got up the second dance, and then if he Z-outraged here, he could have literally just outraged the rest of his team. And he would be faster than everyone and just get the sweep here. But kind of dumb, whatever. And then I don't agree with that switch by Mimo. I think he should have. I don't know. He couldn't really do anything now. It's kind of GG. Since Hank does get the second D dance off and then proceeds to outrage his team. Now, what? Does Mimo not have protect on Alo?
No, he does.
Why didn't he protect on 33? Was he expecting to live the outrage?
Yeah.
Because
yeah, he definitely should have protected right there.
Because that's also wasting a turn of outrage, and if you could get the confuse and then it hits itself, it would die.
Really, he should just at that point protect until he can't protect. Like, just keep trying to get protects off.
Yeah.
He could have gone for the double protect even.
Yeah, that was. I don't agree with his decision not to protect, because if he protected, this game could have ended out a lot differently. Actually, I don't know about a lot differently, because basically Mimikyu can deal with Tornadus, and then Ferrothorn can deal with Excadrill. So it's really, if Alo and Zygarde trade, then it's kind of a 50-50 of who wins, and it really depends on, what Hank switches into, but anyway, he definitely should have protected there.
One thing I would like to look at, turn 28 back with Tornadus versus Zygarde. He ends up switching switching into Zygarde was definitely reckless, but the lead sheet made it a lot better. But I don't really get why he switched out of Tornadus there. I feel like that was a chance. He should have some move to hit Zygarde with that. I think right there he could have gone for something to try and kill the Zygarde, because he's probably Dragon Dancing. Yeah, he could go for attack, but I just don't see that happening there. Dragon, he needs to start setting up to try and win, and that was a chance for Mimo to potentially kill the Zygarde, and at that point, that could have won him the game.
That is very true. Like, if he had Air Slash or Hurricane, and even if, Air Slash gets the flinch, then that's pretty much GG. But yeah, that's actually the biggest misplay Mimo made this game, definitely, on turn 28. You are correct. So, fast-forwarding, gets the triple outrage, and then just E-speeding. So that's a GG for Hank. Hank sweeting with Zygarde, and Zygarde is now the kill leader of the league. But yeah, Zygarde definitely carried Hank to this win, and also Mimo not properly preparing for it also really bit him. Because really, other than Zygarde, he prepared for everything else pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say prep-wise, Hank did really well. It was sort of like Jordan was saying, though. It seemed like he didn't want to play Pokemon. Well, on the other hand, Mimo was the exact opposite. He was playing fantastic, except maybe 1-2 misplays late game. But at that point, he was just trying to recover from all the stuff the Zygarde was doing, and that was because he didn't prep for it well. So if Mimo had just prepped a little, better for Zygarde, or if he attacked with that Tornadus turn 28, he would have had a much better chance of, he would have had any chance of winning. I feel like Hank, on the other hand, played great towards the end. The first 30 turns, it was really iffy on his part.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think Hank was doing a lot of what I did in week 1. I think he was relying on Ferrothorn a lot, and it ended up working out for him because Ferrothorn literally, like Noah said, carried him through this match. And it's kind of what I did kind of week 1. I think I just relied on Cresselia too much, in my opinion. And this week, Hank relied on Ferrothorn a lot, and once he got rid of the Blaziken, I think Ferrothorn did a lot of work. He could go out to Ferrothorn for a lot of things because Ferrothorn's so bulky to take any hit, And the Zygarde, obviously now being the kill leader, is really good. The Zygarde Ferrothorn combo is pretty good, but I think Hank could have definitely played a lot better. But Memo toward the end of the game, I think, could have literally won this match. Like Noah said, if just one thing didn't happen for Hank, like the Tornadus Heat Wave burn on the Zygarde, that could have easily won Memo the game and everything. Just a couple of things here and there could have easily won him the game, but it ended up being in Hank's favor, like the last couple of turns, to where he just D-dances twice and wins the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, really close match, really exciting match too. That was emotional to watch. I was getting into that. So yeah, so far there has been no team with an even record. Every single team so far either has a 0% win record or a 100% win record. So kind of interesting. We do have 2 matches this week that have teams facing off the same record, and that'll be the Jacksonville Dirachis versus the Syracuse Oranguru. They both have wins. And then the Chicago Blues versus the Tulsa Huntails, I believe. And then they both have losses. So those will both be really interesting games to watch. So yeah, stay tuned to further Week 2 matches, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.